Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. Prince Albert police are investigating a death in the East Hill neighborhood. Police were called to the 200 block of 17th Street East. The public was advised to stay away from the area while police investigated. Over the noon hour, Prince Albert police said they were no longer in the area, but the Saskatchewan Marshal Service was left to guard the scene. There are no details about the person's death released, and police have not said whether it is considered suspicious. The death of a woman in Meadow Lake has also been deemed not suspicious. The 29-year-old was found unresponsive in a parking lot in the community on Friday morning. She was declared dead at the scene. Through their investigation, police have since determined there was no foul play in her death. No other details have yet been released. The Saskatchewan SPCA is raising concerns about changes to animal protection services. With the current contract set to expire at the end of March, the province has opened the work to new bids. Animal Protection Services of Saskatchewan currently handles enforcement for most of the province. The Saskatchewan SPCA says it worries about a drop in funding, saying current proposals suggest roughly $500,000 less in provincial funding. The most recent annual report from Animal Protection Services shows officers logged enough overtime to equal a full-time position.
So if they're already seeing, a strained workload based off the current of dollars that have been made available to them, we aren't sure how an agency taking over would do more with less.
CTV News has contacted the province for further comment. Today is Giving Tuesday, a day dedicated to generosity and community support. The Saskatoon Food Bank and Learning Centre marked the occasion with a major boost. UFCW Canada presented the Saskatoon Food Bank and Learning Centre with a check for $10,000 from Saskatchewan members. It's also the official start of the Light It Up campaign for the food bank. Local union presidents were at the event, saying their group chose to give to the food bank because now more than ever, putting food on the table is a struggle for lots of people in our province.
Just because we have full-time jobs, there's people that need the food bank. Our members that we represent here in Saskatoon, PA, Regina, they have full-time jobs. And like Brant says, they're using the food bank. So that's why, with us and National, we've come across this, and that's why we're doing this donation here in Saskatoon.
The executive director of the food bank says to put it in perspective, $10,000 can buy up to 7,000 liters of milk. The moon will be at its biggest and brightest this week. A supermoon will peak at 6:14 Eastern Time on Thursday. It's known as the cold moon because it marks the arrival of frigid temperatures. It's the final supermoon of 2025. So there you go, Jeff. The moon has announced we're getting colder and colder, and hopefully we might be able to see that big, bright moon.
Well, as you said, I think you said 6:14 Eastern, so that's 5:14 local time. So the sun will have gone down, or at least be close to it. So we hope that the viewing rituals will be nicely in hand. But we can say the viewing conditions. But certainly it's not like this supermoon goes away after 10 minutes. So hopefully we'll have less cloud cover so we can see that supermoon. Temperatures not super cold, but they're cold enough. And on top of that, it's been quite windy. We're still keeping an eye on the remnants of that system that sort of slid through the province yesterday. Still some parts of it are still hanging around in parts of southern Alberta and Saskatchewan. Going forward, we're looking at temperatures. They're going to be a bit of a roller coaster. We are going to be having a bit of relief, but there is some snow in the forecast. We'll talk about all of that later on.
Saskatchewan health officials are widening access to HIV self-testing kits. Kits can be picked up by members of the public at several SHA locations, including public health clinics and community support providers. A full list can be found on the SHA's website. The kits only require a small blood sample to deliver accurate results within 1 minute. Positive results need to be confirmed through additional in-person testing. The SHA says better access to the test kits will help with both HIV awareness and reducing the stigma around testing. A government building in Regina is being recognized for accessibility. The T.C. Douglas building in Regina was given the Rick Hansen Foundation Accessibility Certification on August 30th. It's a national rating system measuring meaningful access for disabilities, including mobility, neurodivergence, hearing, and vision, to be able to visit the buildings. The building had already had accessibility features, so it didn't need any extensive upgrades other than power doors, wayfinding signs, and universal washrooms.
Over the next couple of years, we're looking to audit our 515 owned buildings until December 2027 to give us the information we need to see what the gap is to get other buildings accessible for all the citizens who need access to buildings that provide government programs and services.
The Sturdy Stone in Saskatoon and Cooper Place in Regina are the next buildings under review for the certification. Small communities in Saskatchewan are getting a boost as Mosaic announces $4 million for high school and post-secondary institutions. It's an effort to increase Saskatchewan's mining workforce. Mosaic has partnered with Good Spirit School Division, Suncrest College, and Saskatchewan Polytechnic, each receiving at least $1 million. The company also announcing a potash mining readiness course for Indigenous students. Mosaic says expanding training opportunities for rural and Indigenous students in its mining communities will help expand employment opportunities in those communities.
Right now, we really need to build our entire workforce pipeline for our industry. And in order to do that, we have to start early while the students are in high school, but then also look at the in-demand trades that we're going to need now and in the future. So partnering with folks like Suncrest and Sask Polytech are really going to help us fulfill our workforce strategy.
Mosaic's mine in Esterhazy is the company's largest potash operation with the capacity to deliver 7.8 million tons a year. Last week's Canadian Western Agribition in Regina broke attendance records. Organizers say warm weather was partly to thank for more than 151,000 visitors to the 2025 event, making it the most attended Agribition ever. 3 sold-out rodeo shows helped boost numbers, as well as a record number of school-aged children attending. The 55th edition of Agribition returns to Regina in late November next year. When we come back, a new program offered by the University of Saskatchewan. Find out about future career options in lands governance and resource management. The University of Saskatchewan is expanding its reach. A new program focused on management of lands and resources on federal reserve lands. Jordy Gagnon joins me today, the Senior Strategic Officer of Indigenous Programs and Partnerships at the University of Saskatchewan. So first, let's talk about this program. What is it, and what are sort of the broad strokes about this new program?
A great question. The program is nearing about 20 years of program delivery in Saskatoon at our main campus through the College of Agriculture and Bioresources, and we've been having discussions since coming out of COVID the last couple of years as to, who this program could target, who it might benefit, and delivery options for it. Coming out of COVID, we took a look at our reach through hybrid deliveries and things like that, and we thought, could this be a program that extends past First Nations managers who are typically our students, and extend that reach to PA and see if there's individuals who want to pursue a career in an agricultural field. The program really lays that foundation to stream into our diploma programs, and we're going to try and make it work.
And so let's talk about that, because there's, is it 1 certificate and 2 diplomas in this general offering?
Correct. So the certificate program, as I mentioned, was specifically for lands managers who are working in that field for their First Nations. But what the certificate does is it has the ability to ladder into diploma options that go in 2 kind of different directions. One of the directions in our Indigenous resource management program is more the physical sciences, the geographies, the lands, the soils, plants, etc. Our diploma in Indigenous lands governance is just that, right? It teaches a lot of history, Indigenous studies. It teaches about policy and political studies and the history of, those types of systems that we feel will benefit anyone who wants to work in those spaces moving forward.
And so let's talk about the program delivery. That's obviously, it's being offered at the Saskatoon and Prince Albert campus. When I was watching the promotion video there, it looks like, you know, you're not just sitting in a classroom. There's actually some hands-on and getting out into the environment and I guess getting your hands dirty, so to speak. So is that kind of, am I on the right track there? It's a little bit of both classroom and practical?
And you're right, for sure. One of our classes is called ASCII 101, and it's a field studies course. And that's really what the course is. It's having students be on the land, having their hands in the dirt, just because that's where a lot of our land managers will, you know, they'll have to do some of that background work. The delivery for the course is designed for students to come for very short, intensive study periods to not take them away for an entire term, right? So we do have a very good mix of in-person and practical experience in the course.
And so let's talk about, you know, someone who's completed the program, done all of the offerings. What would a prospective career be for some of those students that finish the program?
Great question. As I mentioned, typically our students are First Nations land managers in their communities. But what we've seen over the last, 10 or 12 years is now those students who've graduated from the certificate program are either going into further training or other career options with different organizations around the province. Ideally, I would love to see our future students graduate with a diploma program and work in, the forestry industry or different levels of government, because that's where the background of the information for the courses actually sits, right? So I think, we're not there yet, but as we graduate more and more students and have these conversations with stakeholders and employers as to what the potential is for them to go as far as a career path, I'm excited to see where it takes us.
Well, talk about excited. What if you're an excited person, a prospective student looking for more information or maybe important dates? Let's talk first about the important dates and then maybe where they can go for more information.
Right. So we have 2 entry points for our certificate program in spring and summer terms. So by mid-April, we have that cutoff for spring term, and then we've now extended that into mid-June for students who can't necessarily start in spring. It's busy time. So they have that summer option. For our Prince Albert campus delivery, we are starting in summer of 2026. So we're going to have that mid-June, June 15th-ish deadline for applications.
Perfect. And now I've left it till the very end, but I missed the name. It was essentially Let Us Take Care of the Land, but you will nail it a lot better than I can for me.
I always try my best when saying it as well, but it's the Kanaweatana Ski Program, which in English translates to Let Us Take Care of the Land.
Excellent. Well, that is Jordy Gagnon, the Senior Strategic Officer of Indigenous Programs and Partnerships at the University of Saskatchewan. Jordy Gagnon joining us in studio today. Jeff, and the weather coming up after the break, and later looking at the risks associated with kids and cell phones. So, Jeff, we were just talking off air there. When you look at the southern, or I guess the United States, that's where a lot more of the activity was going on. Sort of a quiet, although cold, up here in the Great White North. Yeah,
it certainly was that way for a while. Of course, we did see, if you were watching football on the weekend, and many of us were, there was a lot of snow in some of these college and pro games over the American Thanksgiving weekend. But since we're going to talk about the States right now a little bit there, and thanks for teeing that up, Johnny, a big nor'easter is building up down in the off the American Atlantic coast, and that is making its way towards Atlantic Canada. So it looks like it's going to be more of a rain event, mostly starting tonight into tomorrow, a rain event for the Maritimes, and then ultimately a snow event for Newfoundland. But it looks like it's going to be a nasty storm, so as nor'easters often are. So we're going to keep our eye on this part of our country as we make our way into tomorrow. Across the prairies, relatively quiet. That system that we had with the low pressure area that slid through And then off Canada's west coast, not much going on right now. Emphasis on right now. But let's take a look and see what we got going on in the futurecast. The computer modeling indicating that it looks like a pretty quiet situation. The winds will pick up a little bit. You can see those pressure lines getting a little closer together. And in northern Alberta, another system is developing, and that is moving through tomorrow afternoon. So there could be some flurries in northern Saskatchewan by the time we get to Thursday. So look at these temperatures overnight. Ouch. Minus 23 in Spiritwood and the Battlefords. Minus 27 in Candle Lake. Minus 25 in Birch Hills and Rostron and Nipawin and Melfort. So yes, cold conditions and even just a little wind can make these temperatures feel certainly on the side of danger. Minus 12 in Spiritwood tomorrow. Minus 10 in the Battlefords. Minus 17 for a high in Candle Lake. The same for Birch Hills and Melfort. Minus 16 for a high under mainly cloudy skies in Rostron. And minus 18 in Nipawin. So these temperatures, not surprisingly, way below seasonal for many parts of this part of our map. Spiritwood and the Battlefords, 4 or 5 degrees below, but certainly as we make our way eastward, it really drops off. So here's what we have going on for Prince Albert. Overnight, clearing skies, winds out of the north at 20, but they will back off a little bit, but that's still quite dangerous there. Risk of frostbite is certainly there. Minus 16 degrees with mainly cloudy skies for tomorrow. Winds out of the south at 20, and the 7-day outlook for the Gateway City, as you can see, minus 5. I know, roller coaster. Minus 5 degrees on Thursday, so above seasonal temperatures, then dropping off to minus 12. But look at those overnight temperatures in the minus 20s. Minus 22 on Saturday. So Saturday is going to be the cold day in this 7-day stretch. Minus 16 on Sunday, and Monday and Tuesday a chance of flurries, but warming up to above seasonal temperatures on Tuesday. So that's how things are shaping up, John.
And I was just thinking to myself, what was the old name of the ship that went out to the Flemish Cap, the Perfect Storm story?
Oh, yes, yes, I know the one you're talking about.
If there's a nor'easter, maybe steer clear of the Flemish Cap this time.
Yeah, exactly. George Clooney. Yeah, and Janet Wright was in that movie.
That's right. There you go. Well, the Prince Albert Raiders are preparing for a grueling 4 games in 5 nights, starting with a rematch against the Medicine Hat Tigers.
Sent up the left side. Waring's got a lane behind the defense. Has Rudolph going to the front. Rudolph scores!
Daxon Rudolph scored his 7th of the season on Saturday to tie the game at 2 in the second period against the Tigers. But in the last 2 minutes of the game, an unlucky bounce had the puck go off a leg up into the air and all the way into the top corner. The Tigers escaping this one with a 3-2 win. With a 17-2-4-0 record, the Raiders are 2nd in the Eastern Conference and 3rd in the WHL standings. The Raiders will go to Medicine Hat Wednesday, Calgary Friday, Red Deer Saturday, and Edmonton Sunday.
Do you have a community event you would like to promote? Or maybe you'd like to draw attention to your organization. Let your local CTV station help you spread the word. Contact us at 306-922-6020 or email panews@ctv.ca. You can appear on CTV Prince Albert's News at 5 and get your message to our viewers.
A new study is looking at the potential health risks of giving a young child a phone and the balance parents need to find at home. ABC's Hannah Battah has more.
It's a question so many parents face. How old should your child be before getting them a smartphone? Now, a study in the journal Pediatrics finds children who had a smartphone before the age of 12 were at a higher risk for depression, obesity, and insufficient sleep than those who did not yet have one. Researchers also finding the younger a child is when they get a smartphone, the higher their risk for developing those issues.
Most kids by age 12 already had a smartphone. The median age was 11. The kids with having a smartphone overall was associated with worse outcomes.
While researchers stop short of recommending a specific age for phone readiness, doctors say the decision comes down to weighing the benefits of a phone against a child's maturity and level of responsibility.
We need to be thinking about their health, online exposure, potential addictive behavior, and how owning a smartphone might affect their long-term health.
A smartphone does have its benefits, such as increased connectivity and access to information. But doctors say parents should impose rules to limit potential harm, like no phones at dinner or at bedtime, and make sure kids still take part in activities not requiring phones.
We want less devices, less screens, more childhood.
While the study only shows an association between phone use and those health conditions, not a direct cause, researchers recommend parents talk to their child's doctor to determine when they're ready for a phone. Hannah Battah, ABC News, New York.
In the winter, it's tempting to stay on the couch a little bit more, but getting exercise and eating healthy, even in the winter months, is critical for health. CNN's Mandy Gator has more ways to manage winter weight in the weeks ahead.
Add up colder weather, plus darker days, and all that comfort food. It can equal an unhealthy shift on the scale.
A lot of people sort of hunker down in the winter and stay inside a little bit more often.
Dr. Kathleen Muller with the American Academy of Family Physicians says the first step to keeping a healthy weight in winter is to have a plan to work out. If you're an outdoor exerciser in warmer weather, consider getting a gym membership now so that you can start the habit of going when the temperatures drop even further. Or just add ways into your day to move more.
That can be taking the stairs, that can be walking farther from the parking lot into the grocery store. Any bit of movement helps.
With all the winter holidays, we tend to be surrounded by foods we don't normally eat. Muller says to tackle the temptation to overindulge by having healthy options and allowing that to be your default.
So a veggie platter in addition to the cheese and crackers, and just make sure that we're going towards the veggie platter a little more often.
Finally, Muller says to remind yourself why you want to maintain a healthy weight. It's not just about how we look, but how we feel now and in the future.
Being a healthy weight reduces your risk of inflammatory conditions, cardiovascular disease, and cancers. We also just are able to move longer through our lifespan and have a longer health span if we maintain a healthy weight throughout our lives.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Brought to you by Saskatchewan Union of Nurses. Thank you to Saskatchewan's 11,000 registered nurses.
So, Jeff, you liked the pecan pie there. We both agreed a pumpkin's a good, safe bet. But here's another one that I didn't see it in there, but a spectacular gingerbread house competition is underway at Stockholm's Museum of Architecture and Design. This year's contest has 151 creations, including pieces of history like the Titanic. There's also extremely topical ones like Labubu's and the Louvre heist. Others built iconic landmarks like the Eiffel Tower and Taj Mahal. Overall, the exhibition is open until mid-January. Do you have a favorite so far, Jeff, as we're looking through these?
The Swedes are making fun of the French. So it's like, there you go.
Everyone loves a good poke right there. Don't eat them.